You open your eyes. There's a river in front of you, cold air, mud under your hands, and the sound of rushing water somewhere in the distance. You have nothing. No gear, no map, no clue what year it is. You bend down toward the water and dip your hand into it. Your goal is to produce electricity. There are mountains upstream, a waterfall somewhere. You can hear it. But you can't just point a wire at a river and call it a day. To turn water into electricity, you have to rebuild nearly everything humanity ever figured out. So, let's start. Step 1. Don't die. The river gives you water, which means you won't dehydrate. That's the one thing going right. Everything else is a problem. You have no food, no fire, no shelter. You spend the first weeks just surviving. You chip rocks into blades, you catch fish with your hands, then with traps, then with spears. You build a shelter from branches and mud, and wonder if any of this is actually leading somewhere. It is. Step 2. Free time. Civilization doesn't advance when everyone's starving. You need food. You study which plants grow near the river, save seeds. You clear land and plant in rows. You learn the seasons by watching the water level rise and fall. The river floods in spring, deposits rich soil, and recedes. You start planting in the flood zones. Your harvests get bigger. For the first time, you have surplus food and spare hours. You spend those hours staring at the waterfall. Step 3. The wheel. Water moves. That's the whole point. And you notice something. A heavy log placed in the current doesn't just sit there, it spins. Slowly, chaotically, but it spins. You spend weeks carving paddles into a wooden wheel, mounting it over a narrow channel, and watching it turn. You've built a water wheel. It doesn't generate electricity yet, but it generates something almost as valuable: mechanical force. You use it to grind grain. Suddenly, one wheel does the work of 10 people. This buys you even more time, but you need to think bigger. Step 4. Mathematics. You can't engineer anything without numbers, so you invent them. You start counting, then measuring, then calculating. You work out ratios, geometry, the relationship between a wheel's size and its speed. You discover that a smaller wheel connected to a larger one spins faster. Gear ratios. You write everything down on flat stones, then on dried bark, then on paper you make from river reeds. Knowledge that used to die with you now survives. You push further. You work out the mathematics of motion, of force, of acceleration. It takes years. None of it feels useful yet. It is all useful. Step 5. Metal. Wood wheels wear out. You need metal. You find strange heavy rocks near the riverbank, copper deposits left behind by ancient water flows. You build a furnace, burn charcoal, and push temperatures higher than you thought possible. The rock melts. You pour it into clay molds and let it cool. Your water wheel gets copper bearings, copper shafts, copper fittings that last decades instead of months. Then you find iron and go further. Your machines get stronger, more precise. You're starting to look less like a farmer and more like an engineer. Step 6. Understanding electricity. Here's the thing nobody tells you. Electricity isn't something you invent. It's something you discover already happening in nature. You've seen it: lightning, static sparks when you rub animal fur against amber, the faint tingle from certain river fish that stun their prey. You start paying attention. You rub materials together and observe which combinations produce sparks. You discover that some metals hold charge and others don't. You build a simple device, 2 different metals suspended in a jar of river water, and notice it produces a weak but steady current. A primitive battery. Electricity on demand for the first time. It's barely enough to feel, but it proves something enormous. Electricity can be created by humans, not just by storms. Step 7. The breakthrough. You're experimenting one afternoon, moving a copper wire near a lodestone, a naturally magnetic rock you pulled from a riverbed, when something strange happens. The wire twitches. You move the magnet again. It twitches again. No contact, no friction, just motion near a magnetic field, producing current in a wire. You test it 100 times. It keeps working. When a conductor moves through a magnetic field, electrons flow. That's the whole secret. Every power plant on Earth, every generator ever built, runs on this exact principle. You just rediscovered electromagnetic induction, the thing that makes modern civilization possible. And you figured it out by playing with a river rock. Step 8. The generator. Now you connect everything. Your waterfall spins a water wheel. The water wheel turns a copper coil. The copper coil spins inside a ring of magnets. Electrons flow through the wire. You run that wire to a small pile of metal filings and watch them glow. Light. From water. It's not much. The current is weak, the system is inefficient, and half of it breaks every other week. But the principle is proven. Water flows downhill, spins a coil inside a magnet, and electricity comes out the other end. You can scale it up. You can build bigger wheels, stronger magnets, thicker coils, and when you do, you don't just have electricity. You have everything that runs on it.